welcome. I'm your host, Danielle Winningham, and I'm super excited about today's content because I'm going to be sharing with you 8 ways that you can beat these new Facebook algorithms. So has everybody heard that Facebook is changing? Have you heard that? Say me. And guys, don't forget to share the broadcast. Don't forget to share the broadcast. Matter of fact, share the broadcast for an opportunity to win. Let me see what I can give away good. I know if you checked your email earlier, I gave away some $20 gift cards off of my website in honor of the Super Bowl. So make sure you hashtag shared when you share so you can have an opportunity to win, okay? So hashtag shared. So has everybody heard that Facebook has made a lot of changes? And a lot of the changes that they've made have to do with your ability to be able to connect with other people. The biggest thing they've done is they've said, we don't want Facebook to be this place where you promote and where you get business unless of course, you pay us and buy ads. Other than that, we want Facebook to be more about connecting and more about the people. If you're not careful and if you don't use these rules all the time, every time Facebook makes a change, you're going to be left in the dust. So these rules are not just about beating the new Facebook algorithms. These rules are about continuity and longevity in your business across the board. So tonight again, somebody just asked for the code. Tonight again, if you text MillionWeb, all one word, to 77948, I'm going to be doing a 7-figure social media session that's going to show you on paper why different activities add up to revenue on social media. So it's going to be a whiteboard session. In order to get the invite, text MillionWeb, all one word, to 77948. Good afternoon, everybody. We're going to go ahead and get started. And so some of the things that I'm going to tell you to do are not brand new, but a lot of you don't know them. And unfortunately, because you don't know them, you can't use them and it impacts your business. The first thing comes from not only 22 Immutable Laws of Marketing by Al Rice and Jack Trout, but if you see it all the time in business. And that is, if you want to be number one, you need to be first. If you want to be number one, you need to be the first. You need to be the first in your industry. Now, you may say to yourself, well, coach, there's 1 million cooks. There's 1 million bakers. There's 1 million coaches. How do I get an opportunity to be first? Where there are places where you can still be first. And one of those places is on live stream. You may not be able to be the first on Instagram. You may not be able to be the first on YouTube. You may not even be able to be the first on Facebook. But by being the first, and we'll tell a story that they told in the book. The story they actually told in the book was about Pizza Hut versus Domino's. Pizza Hut, of course, was first. And whenever you are first, like Coke versus Pepsi, whenever you are first, you own the mind of the consumer. So Coca-Cola owns the mind of the consumer, although in taste tests, people say Pepsi tastes better. Pizza Hut owned the mind of the consumer, although in taste tests, some people say Domino's tastes better. So what did Domino's have to do differently? They couldn't be first at pizza. So they had to be first at being the fastest. Did everybody catch that? If you caught that, say me. So some of you right now are competing for elbow space on Instagram. You're competing for elbow space on YouTube. You're competing for elbow space in all of these places instead of just being a pioneer on live stream. There's not a lot of ministries out there on live stream. You can still be the first. There's not a lot of speaker coaches out there on live stream. You can still be the first. There's not a lot of cooks, bakers out there on live stream. You can still be the first. Because once that first spot is sold up, then you have to come up with a different angle. And once you're the first, it doesn't matter what the algorithms on social media are, you're still going to be the crowd favorite. So with Coca-Cola's not over there worried about, Facebook changed their algorithms, because once you're the first, that's not your concern. You're not going to care about that. So that's number one, is be the first. Now, number two is right behind it. Same story, different result. If you can't be the first, be different. If you can't be the first, be different. So say you go into the live stream, somebody's already out there on live stream. What can you do that's different? How do you call your business out as being unique? How do you identify what specifically would make people want to do business with you? I heard somebody, there was a lady the other day, a cake lady. She said, my market is saturated. And I said, well, baby, from where I sit, there are a lot of markets saturated. There are a lot of, businesses that have a lot of competition. But if you don't know what makes your business different, and if you don't know what makes people want to deal with you and your business, then you got a problem. And another big problem is people don't believe in themselves. I talked to somebody on the phone this morning. Hey, marriage coach, I talked to somebody on the phone this morning, and we were talking about revenue. And she said, Coach, I had this breakthrough of what you've been trying to tell me about my revenue. She said, but until it snapped in my mind, and until I believed I could make more, I couldn't make more. I'm going to let that sink in. I'm going to let you catch that. And again, if you haven't, share the broadcast. So everything and every success has an underlying belief premise, has an underlying belief theory. If you believe you can make more, you can. If you believe you're different, you are. If you believe you're better, you are. No one can believe for you. So if you believe you're going to work a job for the rest of your life, you are. There's a quote that says, if you think you can or you think you can't, either way, you're right. No one has you broke but you. No one has you local but you. No one has you playing small but you. No one has you at a job but you. The only person that has you limited is you. And so when you start, which brings me to number 3, when you start to be different on social media, you start getting noticed. You want to beat those algorithms on Facebook? Be different. Do you know what I see more often than not? A whole bunch of copycats. Somebody say, ouch. You see somebody else do it and it works. So guess what you do? Hey, Latoya, guess what you do? You copy what they do. And then you see that works. And then guess what somebody else do? They copy what you do. Now, Facebook's smart and intuitive. So what happens is when they see the first person may get away with it. The first 10 people may get away with it. But when Facebook starts to see a trend, it's going to shut that trend down. And the last 20 people go to jail, which brings me back to my original comment, which was be a pioneer. You want to beat those Facebook algorithms? Go live. Go live. So, but that brings me to number 4. If you really want to win, you're going to have to do some things you're not comfortable with, which begs the question, do you really want to win? Do you really want to be a pioneer? Answer the question. This is not a rhetorical question. Answer the question. Do you really want to win? Do you really want to be a first in your industry? Do you really want more clients? Do you really want increased revenue? Do you really want to build a legacy? Do you really want generational wealth? Well, you know what's required, and that's something uncomfortable. See, you can say yes, but then you won't do it. Which begs the question, who you lying to, me or you? Because you're not lying to me. You're not lying to me at all. They are changing the way they stack the numbers. So if you really want to get in front of more people, you've got to go live, and you got to have a strategy to go live. So we said, and you can go all the way back to the 22 Immutable Laws of Marketing, which is about 50 years old. And they say if you can't be the first, right? If you can't be the first, you've got to find a way. You got to find a way in the eyes of your consumer, in the mind of your consumer, to at least lead a category. Which brings me to number 5. If you want to stay ahead of those algorithms on Facebook, you got to find a way to communicate often with your people. Now, I just asked you guys if you want to come to a special session tonight where I'm going to show you the gaps between what you're earning now and being able to earn 7 figures. I said text Million Web, all one word, to 77948. Do you know what that does? That connects us. You want to beat the Facebook algorithms? Connect with your audience. How many of you want to be connected with me and don't want to miss a thing? Just say me. How many of you want to be connected with me and don't want to miss a thing? And if that's you, if you don't want to miss a free session here or free session there, or even a paid session, text the word, all one word, Million Web, to 77948. I don't think it'll work in Egypt. Text the word Million Web to 77948. That's how you beat the algorithms. How many of you have less than 1,000 people on your mailing list? See, you got 5,000 friends on Facebook, 5,000 followers. You got 10,000 fans on your Facebook page, but you're not connected to any of them. So you're allowing a social media platform to control when and how you communicate with your family. Because I look at you guys as family. Shalonda, my family. Bishop Williams, my family. Crystal, my family. Falasha Day, my family. Alfreda, my family. But if you're not connected to me in some way other than social media, we can't be family. Because you can't let social media control when and where you talk to your family. Is anybody catching this? And again, if you haven't shared the broadcast, make sure you share, #share. This is a super important message for every small business owner, is that you've got to own the connections with the people you love. If you don't have a way to connect to people outside of social media, then they're not your family. They're not. Welcome, Nora. They're not your family. So you got to say to yourself, especially those of you who have less than 2,000, that if you have more people on your social media than you have on your mailing list, that's a problem. Hey, El Chanel, that's a super problem. So you wanna circumvent those algorithms on Facebook? You got to be able to communicate with your people. You've got to. Let me tell you another thing that you've got to be able to do. You've got to be able to pivot fast. If you don't know what pivot means, it's a basketball term. It means to do a whole 360, a whole 180. Fast. A lot of us are still using antiquated ways of marketing not getting any new customers, and expect for our business to grow. Do you know that in the time I've been going live, the live stream hemisphere has shifted about 15 times? That's why you take a live stream class. Because what you were doing yesterday may not work today. I'm doing the live stream class. I'm doing a product creation class. Then I'm going to do a Facebook masterclass. Why? Because what you did to be successful in Facebook last year is probably not going to work this year. So as business owners, see Crystal, just that fast. Crystal said her comment was marked as spam. Just that fast. So the bottom line is you have to say to yourself, hey, what do I need to do differently? Hey, Allison, in order for me to stay on top of what's changing. You cannot hold a body of information in your business for a year and think that information is still valid. And guys, you may receive AutoVs. Can you let Jonathan know that the date is wrong on the autoresponder? Please let him know. So guys, the dial-in information that you received, AutoVs, make him check the dial-in information too. So you may have received a dial-in that says for the 28th. It's not. It's for the night. Text MillionWeb, all one word, to 77948. So you may have been getting great client response on social media this time last year. But when things change, you've got to understand that they're changing, and you've got to figure out ways to change with them. Another way to beat them algorithms. Facebook has specifically said that he wants Facebook to be more personable. So what does that mean? You have to be more personable. You have to be realer, and you have to be more personable in order to beat these algorithms. If you go out there marketing and pushing your links like you used to, you're going to get shut down. A lot of you don't even know the formula, because there is a formula that exists for how much promotion you're supposed to be doing versus how much engagement. So 2018 is definitely the year of engagement. And if you don't engage with your target, then guess what? You're going to lose your target. And not necessarily because they leave, but because social media is not going to show your stuff to them. So be real and be personable. Number 7 is be consistent. It almost doesn't matter what you do as long as you do it consistently. I'm going to give you an example. If you post on social media every day at 7 a.m., even if Mark Zuckerberg says don't show her post to anybody, at 7 a.m., certain people are going to be looking for you. They're going to seek you out. They're going to wonder what happened. And as a result of that, they're still going to engage and interact with your post. Because they feel, they expect you to post something at 7 a.m. And the bottom line is that if you don't have that level of consistency, how do people know when to expect you? How do people build a habit around your engagement? And the truth is that they don't. So I'm not sure, and you know, Darius and CC and Kat the Course Builder came on yesterday, and they all told you the level of revenue that we're generating on live stream. So I don't understand why anybody wouldn't make the investment to take a class to show you how to do it right. But we're going to be talking about that tonight. Make sure you text MillionWeb to 77948. So be consistent. Here's another one. And a lot of people may not like what I'm saying, but understand the spirit, thank you, Autovis, in which I'm saying it. When you have a business, if you don't play to win, why even play? I'm going to repeat that again. If you have a business, if you're not playing to win, why even play? And a lot of you can't beat the Facebook algorithms because you're not playing to win. You don't know enough about your target to engage them in conversation all day. And so you're only talking to them once a day, and your competitor is talking to them 6 or 7 times a day. Somebody look at your neighbor and say, wow, you want to beat those Facebook algorithms? They're all about engagement. So when you know your target client's life, you can talk to them all day. Morning, noon, and night. Some of y'all only have morning conversation. Some of y'all only have afternoon conversation. Some of you have evening conversation. But when you know who you're dealing with, there is something that you should be saying to them at every point throughout the day. Social media is not post and run. Social media is a relationship. Social media is not hopscotch or double dutch. You can't be treating your social media like, when am I going to jump in? At some point, you not only have to have a consistent plan for your social media and your marketing, but you've got to execute it. Yeah, coach, should we be using Hootsuite? Why? Is Hootsuite going to communicate to your clients on your behalf? And if not, why are you using it? Why are you using an auto poster anyway? It doesn't make sense. It's engagement. It's engagement. So again, play to win, be different. Be first. If you can't be first, at least be different. Communicate often. Get feedback from the people in your area. Be real, be personable. Learn how to move fast. Change fast. Stop doing the same thing on social media that you was doing this time last year. It doesn't make sense. And last but certainly not least, be consistent. Be consistent. I'm telling you, there is so much revenue to be generated regardless to who you are, how you look. Nobody's caring about that but you. Don't let your mind hold you back from your next level. So don't forget tonight, 7:30 p.m., I'm going to be doing a whiteboard session, and I'm going to be showing you how the revenue on social media is escaping you. What I say all the time, men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie. So if you haven't already gotten your invitation, text 77948, text Million Web, all one word, MILLIONWEB to 77948 so that you can get your invite for tonight's special session. Again, if you got a text that said it was for Sunday, it's not, it's for tonight. So I look forward to seeing you. And can I ask you for a favor? Invite a friend. Everybody on here has somebody they know in business that's struggling. Simply pick up your phone and text them. You can't make them come. All you can do is extend the invite. Text them and say, friend, coach is having a workshop tonight. Text 77948. Text the word Million Webs for you to get an invite. Sharing is caring. I wish somebody would pass along to me some of the opportunities for me to be successful. And I'm not saying nobody does, because AutoV's does quite often. But the truth of the matter is, at some point, you got to feed yourself. You got to learn yourself, and you got to eat yourself. All right, so I'll see you guys at 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Text Million Web, all one word, to 77948. And I'll probably see you guys before then. But Coach Leia, have a great afternoon.